It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hello, basketball fans. I'm Ernie Johnson, welcoming you to 2K Sports. I'm here with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. Our game tonight featuring the New Orleans Pelicans as they go up against the Philadelphia 76ers. Taking a look at the 76ers, they're in the midst of a 3-game losing streak, hoping to break out with a win tonight. We'll see if they can shake off the cobwebs. Should be an interesting evening. Two teams that like to slow things down a bit.
Ernie, you sound like a record that's going on.
Yeah.
Man, need to speed you up. Put that battery in your back.
What are some of the keys to running a really good half-court offense?
Ernie's slowing me down. Patience. Gotta have patience. Like you have to have the kind of patience that it takes to sit next to you and Shaq right now, while you guys are really making me feel uncomfortable with your slow motion manners.
Well, Ernie, he didn't answer the question
Oh,
right.
my goodness.
You have to value each possession because you may not get a lot of them.
That's the
Not
fastest
only
I've heard
that,
Shaq
Ernie,
speak.
offensive rebounding can change a game.
Oh.
Excellent point.
Thank
man.
you, Ernie.
That's actually you need to speak like that more often.
Let's go courtside to Kevin
Harlan.
Harlan.
I'm the only one in
Harlan.
fast motion here.
It's the Pelicans at home for a little interconference action in New Orleans. A time-honored tradition, the NBA on 2K Sports, Sunday night hoops action. Delighted to have all of you with us here tonight. This is Kevin Harlan courtside with Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg, and our reporter tonight on the sideline, David Aldridge. And it's another road game for the 76ers. They've lost their last 3 games, and guys, they like that streak to end tonight here.
And for Philadelphia, it's early, but we can already say something about them that we couldn't say last year. This may be a team with legitimate playoff hopes.
And Greg, unlike last year, they're taking the court every night, believing they can win this season, no matter who they're facing.
And nothing tips off a broadcast like getting the lowdown from the sidelines. And we've got David Aldridge there for that. David, good evening.
Good evening, Kevin. Sixers head coach Brett Brown has gone through the lean years in Philly, but his coaching philosophy stayed constant during that time. He said, who's playing hard? There's a certain type that we're trying to grow in a city like Philadelphia. We've got to find people who can gain respect by competing. Kevin?
Thanks, D.A. And Philly loves guys that work hard, a great attitude to build your team around for sure. Well, having depth is such a big deal for these teams, Clark. As you get deeper into the season, we see how these injuries begin to pile up.
Yeah, and they can hurt you. And you know they're going to happen. You've got to be lucky. A lot of it depends on your preparation and your preventative training. And that's not only on the training staff, but it's also on the players to take care of their bodies, get their rest, and do the things they need to do to try to be ready to play every game.
So the Pelicans win the tip. All fueled up and ready to go. Let's check out who's on the floor, courtesy of Gatorade. And so in the game for the 76ers, Redick and Simmons are the 2 and the 3. Embiid is out there with Dario Saric, and it's Fultz in at the point. Three-pointer. Tries again, and the layup by Saric. Saric has got his team on the board to start the game for Philadelphia.
And you just hate to give up those second chance points.
Yeah, those are back crushers. I mean, they really crack your back when you give teams second shots like that.
Feeds to Mirotic. New Orleans moving it around. 5 to shoot. Cousins, the pass to Rondo. Over Fultz. Another miss by Rondo. Philadelphia with the ball. Tough loss coming against Cleveland in their last game played.
And that was a stinker. I mean, that's one of those games where you really can't find anything that they did well. The game just got out of hand and really just a shaky performance across the board.
Yeah, and I'd have to agree with you. And you know how optimistic and positive I am. But it's hard for me to find anything positive to take away from that. That's a game you just want to forget about as soon as you can.
And here are the 76ers now. And going against New Orleans, their first meeting of the year.
Yeah, faced off twice last season, and it was a split between the two teams.
Well, you know, both of these teams know and understand when they face off, it's a very winnable game for either one of them.
Here's Fultz. No good there. And New Orleans will go the other way with it. This game coming on the heels of their win against the Kings.
Really an intimidating style of defense. I mean, they challenged everything at the rim, and that led them to victory.
Greg, they expended maximum energy, but it was well worth it. I mean, they earned that win with their defense.
And, guys, this is what you like to see early on, gaining a little confidence from range.
Yeah, and you know it, Greg. Oftentimes, you get that first one to drop, and your confidence rises like yeast. It's good to get into a rhythm at the start of the game, no doubt.
And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. That one on Embiid.
And when Mirotic first came over to the NBA, he made a big splash, showed that he can act as that stretch four and contribute. Unfortunately, he just hasn't evolved as a player since that rookie year.
Two shots.
The first one falls. And for Mirotic, a lot of his lack, Greg, of progression as a player has come from inconsistency.
And you can see it in his field goal percentage as well as when he plays. It needs to find more consistency in every facet of the game. But young enough, I think, to still make that happen.
And so Mirotic nails both of them. For Philadelphia, they've gone 1 of 3 from the field to start this one so far. And Redick kicks to Embiid. Shoots over Cousins, and that one goes long.
Tough miss, especially since the defense wasn't that strong. I mean, he needs to cash in from there.
Outside Rondo. First quarter of basketball, just over 2.5 minutes play. Another miss for him, now shooting 1 for 4 from the floor.
You know, this just hasn't been his quarter. I mean, he doesn't seem to be comfortable at all, particularly shooting. I mean, he knows he's struggling right now.
And they get it back. Here's Simmons. Persistence pays off as they finally hit a shot.
Oh, I tell you, how about the passion of Simmons? I mean, just sticking with it on the glass.
Mirotic, a screen on Simmons. Rondo dishes to Holiday. Mirotic has a wide open look. And again, New Orleans has no luck. To the middle. And it's Simmons. That time on the assist by Sharch. Simmons got his second basket.
Boy, what skill from Simmons. I mean, so adept at reading the defense and exploiting them in the paint.
Here's Rondo. The kick out to Holiday. Offline with his 3.
Boy, strange that he bricked that one. I mean, no clue where the defense was, and tell you what, they got very lucky.
And low percentage look on that one. Not sure what he was thinking.
I agree with you. Not a good shot, not good offense. They can get a much better look than that, but they're going to need to be patient to do so.
Here's Cousins. The 76ers have gotten just 3 of their first 9 shots to go down in this game. Offensive rebound. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
You know, you got to love watching Embiid play the game because he has such great passion and really a drive to be great. You know, the motto in Philadelphia over recent years in the midst of one of the most patient rebuilding efforts in NBA history was trust the process. I love that. Hard to do, but certainly worth pursuing. And Joel Embiid has made it his nickname. Joel, the process, Embiid.
That one drops. He ties it up. And Clark fans know they can chant "trust the process" as Embiid is at the line. Do you like that nickname?
Well, it's more a bumper sticker than a nickname, and I like it, though. I like trusting the process. As a nickname, I'd give it thumbs down, but clearly Embiid is giving these Sixers fans a lot of hope for the present and future.
Now here's Davis. In the game against Sacramento, very impressive. In the corner, Simmons with it. Screen by Sharch. Simmons passes to Redick. The basket good off the assist from Simmons. Redick's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. They've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
And Cousins kicks to Davis. Over Sharch. Davis can't get that one to fall.
You must make that one. Even with the defense present, these are shots you have to finish.
Now here's Fultz. He's guarded closely. He feeds it to Redick. Just 5 to shoot. From 10 feet out, they get it again. Sharch, no good with the layup. Pelicans trail by 4. Floats it up for Cousins, and Cousins throws it down.
Yeah, and Rondo just working the ball around there. He loves finding his teammates when they're open in the sweet spots.
And the replay presented by Under Armour. Unleash chaos, giving us the chance to enjoy that alley-oop all over again. Outside for Davis. Wide open shot is on the money. It's all knotted up.
A beautiful pass by Rondo. That's excellent teamwork.
Philadelphia's gone 1 of 2 from long range in the first quarter. Fultz kicks to Simmons. Screen by Sharch. They set the screen. Now here's Fultz. He's covered by Rondo. Sharch, and the layup falls. Sharch has got his second bucket tonight.
Kevin, for a young player, I like the way Fultz sees the floor. He knows and feels when a guy is open.
Screen by Cousins. Rondo kicks to Mirotic. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2. That's on Ben Simmons.
And you know what? You allow a guy to get right to the rim like that. That's your only option.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, free throws are always better than a layup, so I'd agree with you there, Greg.
And guys, let's get your take on the scoring breakdown for Philadelphia.
Guys, right from the start, it's been apparent they're determined to establish a presence in the paint.
The other thing they've had going for them tonight is their passing. I mean, doing a nice job. Plenty of their points early on coming off assists.
That free throw, no good. Well, Clark, your whole career, you were a fantastic rebounder. Really at all levels you played it. With that in mind, who do you think are some of the best rebounders right now in the NBA?
Well, for me, it's all about the consistency of getting rebounds at both ends of the floor, and I tend to lean towards those guys that get a bunch of offensive rebounds. So in that regard, Kevin Love, Hassan Whiteside, Andre Drummond, those guys are tenacious and highly productive on the offensive board.
And the Pelicans at last season's trade deadline making the big deal for DeMarcus Cousins.
You know, you look at Anthony Davis being paired with Cousins, and certainly on paper you could make the argument that they've got the best 1-2 punch on the front line in the league. 2 Kentucky guys, great size and offensive skill in terms of their versatility. If they can surround them with shooters and some perimeter defense, I think this group could be scary. How on earth did they let him get that wide open?
And Bayless kicks to McConnell. Sharch up top. Ripped away. Here's Clark. He's covered by McConnell. Clark kicks to Liggins. Back to Clark. 4 on the clock. One up, one down. 2 points with his first shot this game. The 76ers trail by 4. Kicks to Bayless. He dishes it to Sharge. Back to Bayless. Now here's McConnell, guarded closely. Philadelphia needs to get a shot off, and it's denied. And that'll be Philadelphia as it goes out of bounds. 76ers retain possession. Ejuan Moore is checked in for New Orleans. And the 76ers also making a change. Robert Covington's checked in for Sharge. And it's going to be a 24-second shot clock violation. They turn it over. Just a moment to look back at how things were last season for this team as we look at the shot breakdown for the 76ers.
And you can see how big a role the three-point shot played in their offense. They were determined to spread the floor and just kind of open things up through their long-range game.
New Orleans with the ball. They're on a 10-2 run here. Here's Clark. He's covered by McConnell. The 3-ball and the basket by Liggins. Now it's a 7-point New Orleans lead.
The ball movement on this run has been fantastic and is a big part of why they've been able to get these good looks.
Here's Anderson. Gets the 14-footer to fall. Anderson's got his first bucket of the night.
And he's made more than his fair share of those today.
Moore with it. An 11-point game for him in the win against Sacramento. Inside. Shot good by Diallo.
And good passing, setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key.
Dime-dropping delights is what I call it.
Yeah, that's a nice pass. I will give you that one.
Yep, he was on the money, that's no doubt. Here's Johnson. The Pelicans make their last shot. And the pass to Covington. 5 on the clock. Johnson the screen. Here's McConnell. It's rebounded by New Orleans.
They've been sensational on the backboard to start this game.
Yeah, sensational is a really good word for it, Greg. They're tearing it up on the glass. And, you know, the Sixers were heavily criticized for the so-called process, enduring the pain of losing big. People forget the prior decade when the team tried to contend, only won a single playoff series.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And he knocks down the first one. And Clark, it's true the Sixers were a team long stuck in the middle. Does that help explain why they employed such drastic measures to rebuild?
I think so, Kevin. Clearly, they tried getting there the usual way when you try to develop players and maybe add a key free agent here or there, and it didn't quite work. And the process was plan B. And that process has really started to pay some dividends, so I don't blame them for trying it.
Anderson outside. Covington setting the pick for Anderson. The feed to Bayless. Inside. And it's Moore penetrating. And the lead now, double digits on that bucket. Moore's got his first bucket in this one. And breaking down some numbers here, the hustle stats for New Orleans.
And it's been about their defense. They're playing with a frenetic pace, putting a lot of pressure on the ball handlers and forcing turnovers.
They've gotten their fair share of points off turnovers so far tonight, too.
Here's Clark taking a look at the scoring numbers. Right now he averages about 9 points a game. Moore passes to Diallo. Clark for 3. Second shot opportunity. Diallo kicks to Moore. Shoots over Bayless. And the shot is good, dropping in off the front of the rim.
Aggressive coming out of the gate here, guys. Wow.
Tone setting, that's what I call it. Grabbing this one by the throat early on and then squeezing it hard.
Now here's Anderson. Pass to McConnell. Clock at 6. He kicks it to Johnson. Count that one.
You know, Amir Johnson is a problem inside. A big, powerful guy who's able to use his size well close to the bucket.
Here's the screen. And Moore kicks to Liggins. Over Anderson. Liggins, no good.
And right from the start, Kevin, they've been pounding the glass. Most of those 50-50 balls also going their way.
Well, I don't think there's any question about it. They came focused and ready to play. I mean, they're doing everything they can to put things in their favor. You earn that, and they're actually earning it well right now.
Now, here's McConnell. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. 2 points. That one goes. Anderson's got it back down to single digits for the 76ers.
Man, gotta like the confidence of Anderson inside, showing excellent patience and a nice soft touch near the rim.
Liggins dishes to Ajinça. Here's Diallo. No good on the triple. Left side Anderson. Not going to go that time. Liggins. The shot, no good. And that does it for the first quarter. Pelicans ahead, up by 9. And we'll get the second quarter underway on the other side of this break. And J.J. Redick, a focal point in his tenure with the Duke Blue Devils, both offensively and as a lightning rod for fans.
I think I'll forever be associated with Duke and Duke basketball. And obviously that's a polarizing topic for some people. They like me, some people don't like me. But I take a lot of pride in the fact that I went to school there, I got to play there, and I graduated from Duke.
There's no doubt that he is Mr. Duke, J.J. Redick, and it's hard to argue with that school's incredible success, Greg, whether you like him or not. And I know you've had a first-hand view of Duke a couple times.
You know, and listen, I have the utmost respect for J.J. and Coach K and what they've done there. And listen, you could be known for a lot worse things in your life and haven't gone to a lot worse places. But I think for him, it's not about where he's been. Kevin, I think it's about where he's going and what's going to be the next chapter in his career.
Welcome back, everyone. A lopsided first quarter in the books already as we start the second quarter. And looking at what we've seen from the Pelicans, what do you guys think?
I mean, a solid first quarter, especially looking at that plus turnover ratio.
Yeah, everything is sharp. I mean, nothing forced, precise passes, taking care of the ball. That's good stuff.
Taking a look at the 76ers, T.J. McConnell is out there with Jared Bayless. Then there's Anderson. Then it's Robert Covington. And it's Johnson in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. Okay, well, let's check in with David Aldridge, who's reporting from the sidelines.
Well, guys, the Pelicans do have their challenges, but Anthony Davis remains committed to winning in New Orleans. He said, "I love it here. I don't plan on leaving. I guess I fit into that old school category where I want to try to win where I start my career. That's always been a goal of mine. My goal is to bring a championship here." Kevin?
And David, loyalty does go a long way. Davis is a perfect guy to build your team around. He wants to win. And so here is New Orleans. 76ers getting the bucket.
Oh, great to see Anderson reject these shots. I mean, he's an excellent defender, very skilled at that end of the floor, and takes pride in being a shutdown defender.
Now, here's McConnell. He's had some playing time, but no scoring yet from him. It's tipped. And we're about 2 minutes into the second quarter here. The dish to Liggins. The shot. Pass to Diallo. Here's Clark. He's covered by McConnell. There's the screen. And Liggins kicks to Moore. And another shot. He's off on that one. And Philadelphia the other way now. They've got the Timberwolves ahead of them next in Minneapolis. That'll be the third game of this three-game road trip. Bayless from long range. Here's Covington. And 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact. These are the teams that have been really dominant in the paint so far this season. The 76ers in second.
You know, it's not necessarily a glamour stat, but make no mistake, their top-notch board work has been a huge key to their success.
The first one falls. And Clark, when you think back to your career, what do you miss the most about playing in the National Basketball Association?
Well, you know, for me, Kevin, because my career was cut short due to injury, I missed the opportunity to see how good I could have been on a winning team, on a playoff team. Back in the early 80s, the Pacers were building towards that, and I never got a chance to be part of a playoff team. And the camaraderie you establish in going through the shared misery and joy of competing is something that's special and unique to sports, and you really don't find it in any other venue.
Assists like that have typified their effort today. Terrific ball movement.
Really a prime example of the difference in how these teams have operated offensively. Much more individual play at the other end.
And the 76ers decide to take their first time out here.
And when you take a look at that shot chart, the amount of misses lately, really unbelievable.
Yeah, a lot of blanks there. Can't hit a thing. Has to be deflating.
Now here's Fultz. 11 points for him in that last game against Cleveland. They set the pick. Embiid the screen. To the middle. Got a piece of it. Here's Simmons. Misses off the right iron. New Orleans leading by 11. Down low. Here's Davis. And it's Davis with the jam.
How about the leaping ability of Davis? Easily gets off the ground to throw it down. And he's a quick jumper and decision maker.
And a little under 3.5 minutes elapsed in the second quarter of play. Fultz kicks to Simmons. Over Moore. Simmons missing again.
That's a good shot. Even though it couldn't find the bottom of the bucket, I like the shot quality.
The shot by Holiday, no good. The 76ers trail by 13. Here's Redick, and Davis sends it back.
Boy, I tell you what, Davis uses his length so well. I mean, a defensive stalwart who holds his ground, and because of his timing and length and athleticism, he's an excellent shot blocker.
And when you look at the Pelicans, you got to expect for them to be one of the top defensive teams in the league. You've got the Twin Towers down low, and Drew Holiday is in the top handful, I think, of defensive point guards in the league.
For New Orleans, they have shot 5 of 6 at the foul line tonight.
Shooting 2.
First one falls for him. Andrew Holiday at 6'4", great size for the point guard position.
And his height enables him to cover shooting guards. At the same time, he does a great job of keeping smaller players in front of him.
And the Pelicans making a change here. Mirotic is checked in. Sharch checked in for the 76ers. Both free throws good from Holiday.
He's only listed at 6'4", but Holiday plays bigger than that. That's the case on D more than anywhere else. He can guard 3 positions, and there's a lot of value in that.
Now here's Redick. He's coming off a 10-point game against the Cavaliers in Cleveland. To end the run, good work there as it goes.
Whatever their plan was defensively that time, it didn't work. Not if it results in that shot.
Over to the left wing. Mirotic, and it's good, coming on the assist by Rajon Rondo. Rondo's got his 4th assist with that last one here tonight. Dishes to Embiid. Redick for 3. Redick can't get that one to fall.
And, you know, he's yet to hit another 3 after nailing one in the first, but I don't think that's going to stop him from shooting.
Mirotic passes to Rondo. Mirotic the screen. Davis dishes to Mirotic. 5 on the clock. Embiid with the steal. Now Fultz. Looking at his point production, he averages almost 11 points a game.
And you know what? He's just not on his game. No doubt about it. Their deficit isn't totally on him, but he has not been an asset for his team. And low percentage look on that one. Not sure what he was thinking.
I agree with you. Not a good shot, not good offense. They can get a much better look than that, but they're going to need to be patient to do so.
The 76ers trail by 18. Some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, right now you just need a bucket to get some momentum.
And the 76ers call time here. Clark, you were a fantastic rebounder your entire career. What do you feel gave you the edge over the other players in the glass?
You know, one of my fellow Buckeye greats, actually the greatest Buckeye of all time in basketball, I think, was Jerry Lucas. And he talked an awful lot about rebounding being more about timing and pursuit of the ball than anything else. And I had a good gift of timing, and I clearly was chasing down that pumpkin as well as most. And those were the things that allowed me to be a good rebounder. Good timing, good hands, and pursuit of the basketball. It wasn't complicated, but some of it was giftedness. The other part was persistence and hard work.
Passes it to Šarić. Shot clock at 5. Here's Simmons.
And really, they're going to have to figure out a different way to attack this defense. They're not getting many good looks at all. Their field goal percentage is scraping the bottom of the barrel.
Unloads from 13. Here's Holiday, and the rejection by Embiid.
And Embiid is a determined defender. I mean, swatting away shots. He's got excellent reach and timing. Makes him a good shot blocker.
And Holiday kicks to Davis. And Joel Embiid pulls it down. Embiid's got his 7th rebound of the game with that last one. And that one's good. Simmons. Simmons got 6.
Excellent precision and focus from Simmons. Feeling nobody can guard him down on the block. And he's right most of the time.
Rondo kicks to Mirotic. Feeds it to Cousins. Shoots over Embiid. And too long on the shot.
And as he squares up for mid-range, the defender right in his face.
Yeah, I like the fact, Greg, that he crowded the shooter there, made him uncomfortable, got into his airspace a bit. Looked like he forced the shot.
Here's Rondo. Markelle Fultz making his last shot. And stolen by Simmons. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
And the Australian Simmons is a star in the making thanks to his extremely versatile and high-level skill set and big frame.
And Ben Simmons putting on over 30 pounds of muscle going into his rookie season. Do you think there was any connection between that extra weight and the broken bone he suffered in his foot?
I could certainly understand why people might speculate that, but I'm not going to go there. Clearly, strength is more important than additional weight. And those kinds of injuries do tend to show up because of overuse, though, Kevin.
That's good from Simmons. So he gets them both.
And you know, Ben Simmons, a one-and-done player at LSU. He grew up in Australia. Didn't really watch much college basketball. Said he would have preferred to go straight from high school to the pros.
Now here is Mirotic. His last outing, he had 18 points. The 3-ball hits the 3-point bomb. Mirotic has got 12 in the game.
You can't give up these looks. I mean, the defense has to be more aggressive guarding the perimeter.
And Simmons ineligible for the Wooden Award at LSU for academic reasons. He made it clear, I am here for basketball.
Well, and I don't like that mindset there. It's clearly accurate, but while you're in school, you should make that part of the equation and be serious about it. Doing just enough to get by Not the way to approach it. Clearly a tremendous talent between the lines, though. No denying that.
The basket counts and one. He'll go to the line with a chance to make it a three-point play.
And a good example there of why it's important to change ends quickly.
Vitally important. I mean, if you relax for a second, you're cooked. You're toast. They learned that lesson there.
One shot. One shot.
And that one falls from Šarić.
Yeah, in this quarter, they've had the right approach, driving and drawing, initiating contact, create opportunities, get to the line.
Yeah, I like everything you said there, because when all else fails, if you can get to the stripe, that's really a good way to change the momentum in the game, because you get points and you also slow down the opponent because the game isn't going up and down as much. He's been wayward and just off on about everything he's put up in this period.
And they're able to recover, and good that time.
Well, not hard to see why they are giving up points on this run. Just too many good looks from in close.
Screen by Cousins. Davis kicks to Mirotic. And Holiday has it in the corner. Again, Holiday missing.
And it's just one of those days, guys. He has just struggled to shoot the basketball.
The lead now cut to single digits. And it's 6 points for Joel Embiid.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Yeah, I think they've got to ramp up the aggressiveness, Greg. I mean, if they don't, things are just going to get worse from here.
Davis kicks to Cousins. The kick out to Holiday. And 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact. That one on Embiid.
And really few teams in NBA history have undertaken the sort of extreme makeover the Sixers did over the last 4 years, and a lot of losing along the way, but the fans have been surprisingly supportive of the rebuilding process.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And he knocks down the first one. And before the rebuild, the Sixers for a long time were stuck in mediocrity. Treading water, Greg, as they might say.
Yeah, and it's hard to make that leap without top draft picks. And the Sixers plumbed the depths, if you will. Now, though, I think they found their treasure trove.
Looking who's out there now for the Pelicans. Alexis Ajinça has checked in for Cousins. Diallo comes in for Anthony Davis. Andre Liggins, who's checked in for Mirotic. And Ian Clark subbed in for Rajon Rondo. Timeout called the 76ers.
Yeah, and the Pelicans, after making the playoffs in 2015, had some high expectations with superstar Anthony Davis, but last year was a bit of a disappointment, and it forced them to kind of pull the trigger and go out and land DeMarcus Cousins. So their fortunes now, I think, are going to be held by those 2 anchors on the front line.
And Bayless kicks to Anderson. He feeds it to Embiid. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass. Embiid's got 6 here in this quarter. Greg, what would you say is the key for the Pelicans to get back in the playoff mix?
There's several. I think rebounding was a big problem. The trade for Cousins should help in that area. And every team needs more shooting. But I think in particular, this group does. And then first and foremost, look, you got to stay healthy. Hard to figure out what you have when you never get a chance to see it.
Johnson the screen. McConnell kicks to Johnson. Here's Bayless, and the rejection by Ajinça. Outside Holiday. Over Bayless. That's good. A tough shooting night. He's 2 for 8 and looking for more.
And started hot, and he's only gotten hotter.
And here's McConnell. He hasn't scored yet. That, I'm sure, will change. And Anderson has it in the corner. Embiid the screen. Here's McConnell. No good on the 3. Pelicans leading by 12. It's tipped. Liggins the pass to Ajinça. 1:03 left now here in the second. Liggins, no good.
Well, you see the struggles he's having getting anything to go.
Yeah, I'm sure he's frustrated, Greg, because nothing is falling right now. But he's going to keep chipping away at it, and that's the attitude. Stay with it.
Morris checked in for New Orleans. And Philadelphia also making a switch. Covington's checked in. Let's bring up the 2K leaderboard and see which teams made the most of their opportunities on the offensive glass this month. Fifth on the list, the Pelicans.
They have gone all out to win the rebounding battle every night, and it's been paying off. I mean, the second chance points thus far have been really impressive.
Now here's Bayless. Taking a look at his numbers, he averages about 7 points a game. He got right to the cup using that screen.
You know, Bayless is really unflappable. Nothing bothers him. Even when he gets hacked, he stays focused on the hoop and gets his shots to fall. Somehow, some way, he makes it happen.
And this is his first trip to the line tonight.
Gotta admire what he's been able to do at the free throw line this season. How about over 90%?
You know, even in games where he hasn't been at his best this season, I mean, he still managed to get it done at the charity stripe when he gets his opportunities.
One shot, mind the lanes.
You've got to give Brett Brown, I think, just a ton of credit for holding the Sixers locker room together over the years. Brutally difficult to lose and keep fighting and playing hard and playing together. He's created, along with those players, a culture of hard work and effort, and they are not skipping steps along the way. And eventually, folks, that will pay off in good play.
Diallo, the shot missing. Johnson with the defensive effort. 6 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Anderson can't get it to go.
Yeah, that's just poor decision making. He's got to be better in those situations.
Greg, I just think he was in a hurry. He flat out rushed it. I mean, I don't know what he was thinking there. He actually was in a brain neutral position.
And he got the whistle, so he'll have a three-point play opportunity.
Yeah, terrific play right there. Great strength to finish through the contact.
That's exactly how it should be done. Get the bump, concentrate on the shot, and you'll get the bucket too.
For New Orleans, they have gone 9 of 10 from the line, so making the most of their chances.
And they've been ordinary on the season as well, just about 75% from the line.
Yeah, it's been a very frustrating season for them in that regard, guys.
And that one falls for Clark. There's 10 seconds left to play here in the second quarter. Anderson the screen. McConnell. And so it's the New Orleans Pelicans up by a dozen here at the end of the quarter. They've been putting on a clinic in the paint. Shots are falling with regularity, and they are pounding it down low. And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thank you, Kevin. Here with Alvin Gentry. Coach, you're leading at the half. What will you continue to emphasize to your team?
Well, I mean, defensively, we still have to be good. We got to rebound the basketball. And then we've got to continue to push the basketball and score offensively.
We'll see if you can keep that going in the second half, Coach. Thanks. Back to you.
Thank you, David. And we'll be back after halftime as the third quarter gets underway.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
And what a show being put on here for the home fans tonight. I'm Ernie Johnson, along with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. After the first 2 quarters of play, it's New Orleans in control. They are leading by 12. Shaq, how do you think New Orleans played?
Well, Kenny should appreciate this. I love the ball movement. They were in sync as a unit, and their assist numbers were impressive. Anytime you get 5 players working together like that instead of one guy doing it alone, it's always going to be a boost. That's the primary reason they're in control of the game.
And Kenny, your take on Philadelphia?
Well, they're trailing in this game because they're shooting under 35%. Now, I've got to give a lot of credit to the defense, forcing the shooters off their spots and making them feel uncomfortable. But if someone takes something away from you, you have to be able to adapt. So they need a whole new game plan because right now they're in trouble.
And it's just about time now for the third quarter to get underway.
we're getting back to the action now. It's been a one-team show so far. We'll see if that changes here in the third. You know, Mirotic has been exceptional here, guys.
And through the first 2 quarters, he was dynamite from beyond.
Greg, simply spectacular. I mean, the defense just hasn't been able to find an answer for his outside shot.
Welcome back, everyone, to the start of the second half. Big margin on our hands, but we'll see if that gap narrows down in the third and fourth quarters. The bigs inside, Davis and Cousins. Holiday out there with Rajon Rondo, and it's Mirotic in at the 3 slot. That's Alvin Gentry's 5 as we get into the second half. Offensive rebound, and so he earns a trip to the line. Official saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2.
And at 250 lbs, Embiid is a terror inside, using that large frame to draw those fouls.
And Joel Embiid, from the time he started playing basketball in Cameroon through the University of Kansas, Clark, he began patterning his game after Hakeem Olajuwon.
Well, it sounds like he's a visual learner because he got a DVD of Hakeem and said he watched it almost daily. Their stories are similar. Both started playing hoops relatively late. Both are from Africa. And you watch the gracefulness of Embiid's moves inside. Easy to see the influence of Olajuwon.
The free throw drops for Embiid. And the New Orleans Pelicans last season with one of the worst offensive rebounding percentages in history.
Yeah, I mean, it improved somewhat with DeMarcus Cousins coming in. But I think really it's the team's philosophy, though. They value getting back in transition more than they value a chance to attack that offensive glass.
Pelicans leading by 10. Holiday dishes to Cousins. Kicks it to Davis. Screen by Cousins. Davis, the pass to Mirotic. Here's Holiday. Money from the wing. Holiday's got 11 points. The 76ers trail by 12. Screen by Sharch. Volts kicks to Simmons. The baseline J. Bucket is good. 10 points for him.
That, to me, is good use of the mid-range J by Simmons, taking whatever the defense gives him out there.
Over in the corner, Cousins. Now here's Rondo. He's tightly guarded. Another miss by Holiday.
And, you know, it hasn't been his night, but his team still leads, so that's encouraging.
Sharch, that's good. And we're about a minute and a half here into the second half. Rondo dishes to Cousins. Back to Rondo. Screen by Cousins. And Mirotic kicks to Cousins. Shoots over Embiid. No good from Cousins.
Now, that's what we're talking about in terms of the activity level defensively. You got to protect the rim.
Textbook defense all around. Nice job at contesting the shot without fouling, and that's how you do it. Well done.
They're doing work here in the second half. 3 or 4 to start.
And Mirotic has it in the corner. That's good, coming on the assist by Rajon Rondo. And that's 15 points for Nikola Mirotic. Now here's Fultz. He's covered by Rondo. They set the pick. Screen by Sharch. Simmons passes to Embiid. Shot clock at 6. The shot misses.
I can't explain what happened there, Kevin. I mean, he had the layup. Looked like it was a simple play. Somehow the defense threw him off just enough to cause a miss. Well, there is a saying now that is pretty accurate. You either sell success or you sell hope. And the process in Philadelphia may have been hard to watch, but it did give their fans hope for a better day.
First free throw is good. And through all the losing, the fans in Philly have been pretty supportive of the Sixers' goals to draft star talent.
Yeah, and you know what? Thousands of fans coming out to watch the draft lottery is an indication of how optimistic and behind the Sixers these fans are. I mean, trust the process has been their rallying cry.
He doesn't get the second one. The 76ers trail by 10. Over in the corner, Fultz sinks the three-pointer. Fultz has got 7.
Boy, what's most impressive about Simmons is how he finds the open man so consistently, the vision, the unselfishness. That's what you want to see out of him.
Now here is Holiday. 12 points for him. And it's Philadelphia with the rebound. Sharge has got his 8th rebound here tonight. Now here's Fultz. Defense is right there. And Davis sends it back. And a fast break now for the Pelicans. It's stolen by Fultz. And here we go. Fast break. Fultz has got it. It's rebounded by New Orleans. Cousins has got 3 rebounds so far in the game. The wide open look here for Holiday. And it's Philadelphia with the rebound. Fultz with the ball. He's picked up by Rondo. Here's Simmons. Almost, but it rolls out. Pelicans leading by 7. Here's Holiday. Good. And it's Cousins picking up the assist. Holiday's got 5 points now this quarter.
That's just an incredible find coming from the big man. No debating Cousins' smarts on the court. He picks out a pass there that not many guys would have seen.
Fultz. That shot no good. Nice D from Cousins. Outside, Davis. He's looking for Cousins and finds him. Lays it up, and despite of the excellent defense at that. And now an 11-point Pelican lead. And Philadelphia calls time here. As the teams head into this timeout, a chance for the coaches now to map out some plays for the next few minutes and a chance for the players to rehydrate with some Gatorade. That's important if they want to make sure they don't wear down later in the game.
Absolutely. Over the course of a game, you have to stay hydrated.
The 76ers trail by 11. No one near Fultz as he lets it go. Mirajic grabs the miss.
And truth is, though he misses that one, it's a shot he normally makes.
You're exactly right, Greg. That's certainly in his range. Forget about the miss and get ready for the next one.
Clearly a foul.
Yeah, he took a shot there, earned those free throws.
And an important part of every team's game, a look at the hustle stats for New Orleans.
We've seen them make the extra effort from a defensive standpoint, closing out airspace and sending shots back.
Something that's also benefited them tonight are the turnovers they've forced and the points that have come along with those forced turnovers.
The first free throw is good.
Yeah, and last season, DeMarcus Cousins moving on in that blockbuster trade. Really impossible to get equal value for a star like Cousins, but he was pleased, I think, to put all the rumors of being traded to bed.
And good on the second, so he makes them both. And with Cousins, he found out that he was being traded to the Pelicans while at the All-Star game in New Orleans.
And it's never easy fitting in with another star like the Brow, but Cousins is just so skilled that you knew they would find a balance. And at the end of the day, Cousins seems to be happy with a team who is committed to him.
And it goes down 2 points. 16 points for Drew Holiday.
There's been some slippage defensively here in the second half, Kevin. I mean, I'm not sure if their legs are going or what, but they've given up some easy baskets here.
Some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, right now you just need a bucket to get some momentum.
Can they get it? Embiid, no good. New Orleans leading by 15. Outside Rondo. Here's Cousins. Shoots it up. And Cousins throws it down.
He is just a monster on the boards. And with those soft hands Cousins has, he's going to turn those offensive rebounds into putbacks almost every time.
Here's Simmons. The Pelicans make their last shot. Moves back up. Anthony Davis with the rebound. Davis has got rebound number 7 for him tonight. Holiday dishes to Mirotic. The pass to Rondo. Cousins against Embiid. Outside Holiday. And again, New Orleans with the triple.
Boy, has he put his foot on the pedal here this quarter. He's doing a terrific job in terms of leading their offense.
Now, here's Redick. He's playing a pretty big role for him at the offensive end, averaging about 12.5 points a game. Embiid with it. He's picked up by Rondo. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Here's Embiid. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Embiid's got 12.
And Embiid is H-E efficient. That's super efficient, folks. When he gets cooking, the defense knows they're in for a long night.
And first time out of the game called for New Orleans. And for the Sixers this summer, all the talk was whether they'd get the Lakers pick if it fell outside the top 3. They end up swapping picks with the Kings, who jump into the top 3.
Yeah, and the Kings ended up, Kevin, getting the Sixers pick at number 5. Still a jump from the 8th spot in the draft order, so not all bad for them. That goes back to 2015 when the Kings made a trade to clear cap space for Rajon Rondo.
Moore with the bucket.
And some guys just have a nose for scoring, and this one couldn't have been any easier.
Yeah, that was actually no defense at all there, Greg. I mean, layups don't come any easier than that. I mean, they're piling it on now.
And it's the 76ers with the ball. Following the score by New Orleans. Moore with the steal and pushing it up. Here's New Orleans. Oh, a nice defensive play to disrupt the alley-oop. And DeAndre Liggins picks up the foul. That's foul number 2 for him. The 76ers trail by 20. Now, here's McConnell. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. Here's Covington. Good. And McConnell gets the assist.
And it's always terrific when Covington gets going down in the paint. I mean, this guy can score the ball from anywhere on the floor.
Screen by Cousins. And Liggins kicks to Clark. He dishes it to Cousins. Over Johnson. Cousins, no good.
And he's just a tough defender. Good positioning to get after that shot.
Did a good job guarding the mid-range. Extended out nicely and definitely bothered the shot.
Now here's Johnson. He's averaging a bit over 5 points a game. Stolen. And it's Moore penetrating, and he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. He's getting his first free throw attempt of the night right now. And the first one at the line is good. And so Moore nails both of them. The 76ers trail by 20. And there's the feed to Bayless. Pass to Anderson. Picked away. Here's Liggins. He's got 5. To the paint. Here's Cousins. That one misses. Some solid defense from Johnson. McConnell kicks to Anderson. There's a screen. Bayless from long range. He can't get that one, and it's the Pelicans taking it the other way. Here's Clark. He's covered by McConnell. And Cousins kicks to Clark for the 3. Pass to Diallo. Back to Cousins, and then Cousins with the dunk. And he's now got the double-double. 10 points and 10 rebounds.
You got to love the intensity. Cousins going right for the throat and just jamming that one home.
And Bayless kicks to Covington. Pass to McConnell. Clock at 6. Johnson the screen. Teardrop shot. It's hauled in by Diallo. Diallo's got 6 rebounds in the game. And it's Clark in the corner. The three-pointer, no good. Philadelphia's gone 1 of 3 from downtown since halftime. Here's Liggins. And Philadelphia grabs the miss. Johnson's got 7 rebounds in the game. And it's Bayless in the corner. Off target with his 3.
I mean, his field goal percentage isn't good. He's not helping his team out there shooting this poorly.
The pass to Diallo. Back to Clark. We've got 1:23 left in the third quarter. And again, New Orleans has no luck. Philadelphia shooting 32% overall right now, not one of their better showings. Bayless's shot is off.
Nobody even close to him, and he can't believe he doesn't knock it down.
Clark, the pass to Cousins. Moore inside. Bayless covering. Alexis Ajinça has checked in for DeMarcus Cousins. And the 76ers with possession. Here's McConnell. And that one comes up a bit short.
It's just been a brutal outing for him. He still hasn't managed to make a shot, and the team is struggling because of it.
Here's Clark. He's covered by McConnell. Diallo kicks to Ajinça. Just 5 to shoot over Johnson.
Excellent defensive commitment that time from Johnson. He's always there and present.
The dish to Covington. Pass to McConnell. Anderson the screen. McConnell kicks to Anderson. Another miss, and they've really hit a rough patch here. And so it's the New Orleans Pelicans holding a 22-point lead as the quarter wraps up. They've got a big advantage in the turnover stats because of their intense defense. And don't go away. We'll be right back. And a moment ago, inside the huddle with head coach Alvin Gentry.
All right, guys, remember what we said now. Hey, play our basketball. We've been doing a great job. Let's keep it up, okay? Let's go now.
Alvin Gentry has found an identity that's working, and that makes everything a lot easier on both ends.
And collectively, you really need to remember what that feels like so you can recapture it if and when things start to get a little shaky. You want to be able to trust in who you are.
Welcome back. Fourth quarter action starting up in what has been a one-sided show. And so in the game for the 76ers, Anderson is out there with Dario Saric. Then it's Jared Bayless. Then it's Amir Johnson. And it's McConnell in at the 1 spot. And that replay brought to us by Under Armour. Another Unleash Chaos moment. One of the more exciting plays in basketball. Here's Clark after the basket by Dario Saric. To the paint, here's Liggins. An easy layup after coming off the pick.
The second he got around the pick and shook his man, it was straight to the bucket for the easy deuce. Very, very well done.
Dishes it to Bayless. Here's Saric. It's rebounded by New Orleans. 1 minute now into this fourth quarter. Here's Clark. And the layup's good off the glass.
He has a little
bit of trickeration with that one. Gets that one to go against the limb.
Trickeration. I like that, partner. That's pretty strong word creation. And you've got to be creative, though, whether you're commentating or hooping, especially when you're going inside.
Nice work there coming off the screen.
And Anderson is accustomed to getting bodied on the drive, excels at shielding off the defender on his way to the rack.
Now a timeout called by New Orleans. And picks taken in the late first round can be a bit of a crapshoot, Clark. But Justin Anderson, taken with the 21st pick back in 2015, he sure seems like a keeper.
Yeah, I concur with everything you said there, Kevin. I mean, seeing him at Virginia, you knew he had the physical tools. It's just a matter of developing his skills and his shooting ability to be able to succeed at this level, and I think he will.
Catching up on the changes for New Orleans. Anthony Davis, he's checked in for Diallo. Iritic comes in for DeAndre Liggins. Drew Holiday, he's checked in for Ejuan Moore. Rajon Rondo is subbed in for Ian Clark. Here's Redick, following the basket by Anthony Davis. Here's Fultz. It's rebounded by New Orleans. Davis has got rebound number 8 now on the night. Rondo kicks to Ajinça. Well, we know just how athletic the NBA has become since its inception. Clark, even from when you play, just how much faster and stronger has the game become?
I would say if we were going to try to put a percentage on it, I think it's grown 60–70% in terms of athleticism. And a lot of it is attributable to the training advances that have been made in sports science and sports medicine and sports performance. And that's benefited and aided the players greatly. And then you have players that have really bought into nutrition and year-round maintenance of their bodies and taking advantage of this technology to enhance performance. And then it becomes a herd mentality. More and more of the guys are doing it, and more of them are benefiting from this enhanced training. So I'd say it's at least 70% better than 30 years ago.
Good on the second free throw. The 76ers have gone 2 of 4 from the field since we started the final quarter of play. It's Šarić, top of the key. Embiid inside, working on Ajinça, and there's the 3-second violation.
And they're just playing fast and loose. Sometimes that'll burn you.
You know, can't afford these kinds of mistakes right now, Greg. It's as simple as that. And they're making it hard on themselves.
Here's what Philadelphia's going with right now. Richaun Holmes, he's checked in for Joel Embiid. Bellinelli comes in for Šarić. And Luwawu subbed in for J.J. Redick. Rondo dishes to Iritic. Here's Holiday. That one good for 2. Holiday's got 12 points in just the second half.
And giving up some height, he just finds a way to carve out a little separation.
Yeah, you know, he doesn't back down from anybody, Greg. Effective at getting the room he wants and then gets his shot off in time.
Yeah, I love the communication and the chemistry between those teammates.
Davis with a screen on Simmons. Rondo kicks to Ajinça. New Orleans moving the ball around, and that one's good by Davis.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
And when you make 5 in a row in close like that, it also takes pressure off your perimeter guys, too.
Here's Luwawu. And the miss, not the best shot selection there. Ajinça, the pass to Iritic. Tries again. Ajinça dishes to Holiday. Rondo kicks to Iritic. Good. And it's Rondo who picks up the assist. Rondo's got his 7th assist here tonight. The 76ers have gone 3 of 6 from the field so far in the 4th quarter. Fultz kicks to Simmons. Here's Holmes. And off the left side of the rim, and it swirls in for him. And here's New Orleans now. They're on a 14-6 run. Right side, Rondo. Trying his luck deep, and again, New Orleans with the triple.
Having a lot of trouble stopping the three-point shot.
And they're not making up for it with their own shots from deep either, so that's a double-edged sword there.
Here's Luwawu. Holmes with it. 5 on the clock. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there. And league expansion is something that simply won't leave the conversation in the NBA right now. Clark, do you think that the NBA adding another team or two is inevitable?
I don't think it's inevitable. As a matter of fact, I think we're at a good number where we are, Kevin. It's still the best league in the world, and I think you could dilute that a bit if you added teams. So I'm fine with where we are.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
First one falls for him. New Orleans making some changes here. Stones checked in for Alexis Ajinça. Darius Miller comes in for Mirotic, and it's Jackson in for Rajon Rondo. Both shots good from the stripe.
Wow, they've made every free throw here in the second half.
And that efficiency, Greg, as you know, so critical when you're looking to overcome a deficit. You've got to be close to perfect and can't waste scoring opportunities.
Jackson kicks to Stone. Holiday with the 3. Rebounded by Holmes. For Philadelphia, they've gone 4 of 7 from the field since the beginning of the 4th. Here's Luwawu. The 76ers with another miss. New Orleans has gone 2 of 3 in the 4th quarter from long range. Good shooting so far. And it's out of bounds. They say it was last touched by Jackson.
Simply missed a connection there. I mean, I like the unselfishness. Admirable, but just not the result.
Philadelphia's gotten off to an 0 for 2 start from downtown here in the 4th quarter. Holmes, that's a screen. Feeds it to Bellinelli. 14 feet away. The basket good off the assist from Simmons. Simmons got 4 assists now tonight. For New Orleans, they've gone 7 of 9 from the field down the stretch here in the 4th quarter. Terrific shooting. Holiday, the pass to Davis. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2. Greg, from his one-and-done season at Kentucky, leading college basketball in block shots. We knew Anthony Davis could dominate defensively, but did you have any idea he'd be this good offensively?
None. I mean, with his length and athleticism, you knew he'd have an impact as a finisher. But the way his shooting has developed, it has been remarkable. Now, granted, this was a guy that at one point was recruited to play point guard coming out of high school, but he's playing more like a shooting guard with his skill set.
And that one falls for Davis. And Clark, we know that players are evaluated in a historical perspective, largely by how many rings they have. Do you think that's a fair way to evaluate things?
I don't think you can solely evaluate an individual player in a team sport by the number of rings he's been able to win. Clearly, it can be part of the criteria, especially if you're talking about great players who have had similar careers. It can be a differentiator. But to me, it doesn't necessarily carry the weight that some people like to give it in evaluating players. Individual performance over time is what, to me, marks the hallmark of a player worthy of Hall of Fame consideration or being talked about being one of the greats in the game.
They are enjoying a commanding lead.
And it really gives them the opportunity to give their starters a rest. Always critical when you...
Oh!
Hey, hey, hey! Woo, wow! And Fultz is a great dunker. Makes high-octane slams look effortless.
Miller outside to the middle, intercepted. Oh, and here we go with Simmons, nobody back, and Simmons slams it in.
And that's how you make a steal count. Turn it into a quick slam at the other end.
It was really a case, it looked like Greg Anthony right there, if I can say so. It was really a case of a great defensive play triggering some instant offense.
Yeah, I remember GA as an irritant, and this guy, much like Greg, creating havoc out there.
Some changes for New Orleans. DeMarcus Cousins, he's checked in for Stone. Mirotic comes in for Miller. Rajon Rondo is subbed in for Jackson. Philadelphia also making some changes. Joel Embiid, he's checked in for Rashawn Holmes. Saric comes in for Marco Bellinelli. And J.J. Redick is subbed in for Luwawu.
One shot, mind the lanes.
And that one falls for Anthony Davis. With the versatility of modern players and the switching that goes on in defensive schemes, Clark, are traditional NBA positions meaning less and less in the game now?
I think we're finding that more teams are playing close to positionless basketball in many ways. So positions aren't nearly as important as skill sets with your 5 players on the floor. I think that's what you look at when you field your team.
Outside Rondo, clock at 6. Davis sets a screen. And again, no good by New Orleans. The 76ers have gone 8 of 13 from the field since the start of the 4th, sinking the majority of their shots. Fultz, a three-pointer, no good.
A slight rebound advantage for them. One more column in their favor, and it's all adding up.
Well, you take a look at all of the stats, the team stats that is, and that's one of the many areas that they've had the advantage. And as a result, they've got a big lead.
And Davis sends it back. Here's Saric. Here we go with Holiday running it up the court. And the whistle blows, so a chance here for a three-point play.
Yeah, getting theirs before the defense can set up.
Perfect execution. That's how you take advantage of a transition opportunity.
Robert Covington's checked in for Ben Simmons.
One shot, mind the lanes.
And referee play review is something that is still relatively new in the NBA. Clark, do you think it should be expanded?
I think we should continue to modify and refine it and be careful to not look to overdo it. But we also want to make sure we're using it productively and prudently. So modify it, refine it, evaluate it each year, and try to make really good use of it in the areas where it can be most effective in enhancing the calls that are made in the game.
Cousins against Embiid. Floats it up for Davis. Stolen away. Nice job to interrupt the alley-oop attempt there. Saric outside. He kicks it to Redick. Screen by Saric, and there's the feed to Fultz. Another three for Philadelphia.
No three-pointers for him in that first half, but the second half, different story.
Here's Mirotic. And again, New Orleans has no luck. Philadelphia with the ball. They're on a 16-7 run. The shot by Saric, no good. Pelicans leading by 22. To the middle. It's stolen by Saric. High post, Embiid. Fires from 18. And he gets that one to go off the front iron.
And when it rains, it pours. Another jump shot tickles the twine.
Holiday dishes to Rondo. Screen by Cousins. Covington against Mirotic. Outside Holiday. That one no good. Great D that time from Redick. To the inside. Here's Saric. Again, the miss by Saric.
I'll tell you what, the way he's been going this quarter, guys, they're going to need somebody else to pick up the slack.
And Holiday kicks to Mirotic. Now the 76ers on the break. Fultz with the ball. Makes it off the glass. Fultz has got 10 points here in the second half.
That's just a good job of recognizing when you have a chance to get the steal. I mean, Fultz doing a nice job showing off his defensive prowess.
Mirotic against Covington. Here's Holiday, and there's the whistle on the shot. Took the foul, shot misses. He'll be shooting 2. And Philadelphia gets called for the foul. The first one falls, and Philadelphia making a change here. Simmons is checked in. He makes 1 of 2 that time. The 76ers trail by 19. Here's Fultz. Kept alive. Sharge, that's good.
How about the purpose with which he's crashing the backboards right now? Some hard-earned second chance points.
Outside Rondo. He feeds it to Mirotic. It's not going to go for him. And the 76ers go the other way with it. Here's Simmons. Got it. Good job in the low post. Simmons got 10 points here in the second half.
Boy, the defense looked helpless there. I mean, he's going to lay it up every time when he's got a smaller defender on it.
And this is going to end in a lopsided victory. I love the tenacity and aggressiveness as well as the ability to close. You really got to give it up here for the Pelicans.
Tonight, they seem committed to the three-point shot.
That was the bread and butter. Fortunately, they made enough of those, but sometimes it was quantity over quality.
And an important milestone for them tonight as they pick up win number 10.
And so they win their first game against this squad. It's a 2-game season series, and they'll be going for the sweep the next time they face off.
Yeah, and Greg, when it is just a 2-game season series, the team winning game 1 has that slight mental edge going into the second meeting, knowing they've already solved their opponent one time and only have to do it one more time.
And something we've come to almost expect is greatness from this guy. Such an overall great performance it was for Davis.
You can set a tone with defense, and that's exactly what he did with how he protected the rim.
And how much longer are they going to keep that foot on the accelerator?
As long as required, Greg. I mean, you can tell they want to put this thing to bed.
There's the pick. Sharge has the open look. Another 3 for Philadelphia.
And guys, you got to ask, where was this effort when it mattered? The game's over now.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, frustrating to say the least. I mean, don't even know why they're trying anymore. This one is a wrap.
Now Rondo. So we see New Orleans taking the W here. Even early on in this one, it seemed like they were happy to be playing at home tonight.
And it makes a big difference. And once they started to really play in rhythm, you never felt like they had any doubts as to whether or not they were going to win.
It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Thanks, Kevin. Anthony, tell us the focus for the team coming into the game tonight.
Well, before we started the game, Coach came in and told us that we knew what we had to do. We were trying to stop a lot of their actions, and, our biggest focus for the game was guard the ball. That's what we did coming out of that timeout and never looked back.
And it led to a win. Thank you for your time, Anthony. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, thank you. Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. For Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. See you next time.